Master Nellie Bailey says I have 8 minutes. I'm going to try to stick to it, brother and sister Ferguson. Very glad to be here this afternoon. I apologize for being late. The last time I was here in this church, I think I had announced to the people that had gathered that the People's Organization for Progress had decided to do a daily campaign for jobs in Newark, New Jersey. And at that time, we were just beginning June 27th. I come back today to tell you we have had 76 consecutive days of protests in New York. We have decided that we are going to continue this protest for as long as our people continue the Montgomery bus boycott, which was 381 days. So we're going to continue this effort. This is Brother Akbar, with the chronology out there, I was 17 years old when I heard about the Attica uprising. I had just been appointed to the Newark Board of Education. I was the youngest board member in the history of the United States at that time. And we had a student organization called the Newark Student Federation. One thing we used to do every time we met on a weekly basis, we used to read current events. And the Attica uprising was covered in the Jersey papers, the Star Ledger, and in the New York Times. And when I first heard about Attica, I said, something really terrible must be going on there. Something of a dimension that, because when you imagine a rebellion, those of us that were in Newark in 1967, we know about a rebellion and what it takes to rebel. Relatively speaking, it's not hard to come out of your house and go to the main boulevard and start rebelling. But when you think about a rebellion in prison where people are on lockdown and have prison guards watching over them 24 hours a day, have cells, in fact, encaged, it was hard for us to even fathom, to even understand how men could mount a rebellion under those conditions. But they did, and then we said, well, there must be some really terrible things going on in Attica that would make men, because surely they knew at the time that they engaged in the rebellion that they were going to die. Many of them had to have known from the beginning that they were not going to come out of that alive. But clearly they thought it was better for them to die with dignity than to live under a system of oppression that they had to live in on a daily basis in Attica. But the truth of the matter is, as I remember the demands that were being raised by the brothers in Attica, that the same conditions that existed in Attica in 1971 exist in prisons and jails across this country today in the United States. And I understand what Sister was saying when she said the new Jim Crow, but clearly to me, Jim Crow is too nice a term. I wish it was Jim Crow. What we are witnessing, brothers and sisters, before our very eyes is the re-enslavement of our people. The re-enslavement of our people. Yes, prison labor has increased 12-fold. 100,000 federal prisoners in 1966. 2.3, 2.4 million today. 10, 12-fold increase. These are not just prisoners. These are slave laborers. We got to call it for what it is. These are slave laborers. And they are being forced to work without due compensation to manufacture products and to make goods that are being sold on the market. And this is horrendous. This is outrageous. And any organization, and I say this because we have it in fighting, particularly any black organization that says it is fighting for human rights, for the human rights of oppressed people, has to have as a component part of its program, has to have a section of its organization that deals with the needs and the demands of our imprisoned brothers and sisters today.